I haven't made a video here for a long time. And what I'd like to say is that Jordan Peterson is wrong on many, many, many things. And his fast deteriorating health shows that. And no amount of thinking is going to help him. And I always said that Jordan Peterson makes a couple of massive mistakes. First of all, it's um when a body's sick like that, it's like a rebellion of the soul against what the body does. And he's way too much into in his mind. He's so much in his mind that it basically costs him his health. And when you're so much in your mind and so much thinking, you're actually every thought is kind of like an energy blockage. And the more you think, the more you're actually blocking yourself. That's what a lot of people don't know. That's why a lot of scientists um, have various types of diseases, autoinflammatory diseases, and so forth. Because the more you think, the more you're actually blocking your energies. And also, by thinking too much, you're actually also blocking the intuitive energies that come from the higher chakras into your lower chakras. And if Jordan Peterson would want to be healthy, he would have to completely stop his job and his overthinking. He would have to go completely into meditation, opening up the pranic channels, the nadis, and all of that stuff, and releasing the traumas in his family lineage. And uh, as long as he tries to combine anything with his like thinking job, it's not gonna work. And it's you cannot heal a disease if your underlying lifestyle is that of continuous energetic blockage. You cannot heal it because the first primary thing is you need to get your energies flowing. And that only works if you do the proper movements, if you do proper body work, and stop thinking. Thinking is one of the primary diseases of our energy bodies. And I've said this a couple of times. Every thought is a blockage, and the more energy you give to this blockage, the less you're in the flow and the less intuitive you are. And he has a job as a clinical psychologist. He has a job where he's constantly thinking and constantly reading. And it's actually very bad. For example, I don't read at all. I read a little bit online, but nothing like books. I don't read books. If I read anything online, it's absolutely minimal because reading is actually also a blockage. So, and I remember my math teacher when I was in high school said that reading is the activity which most takes mental energy. It likes your brain is sucking energy like crazy when reading. I know a lot of people like reading because it stimulates them and they find the stories nice, but they don't understand what's happening energetically. The more you're expending energy and prana on outside influences, the less you have energy for healing purposes. It's literally like a battery, how much you're draining or loading your battery. And so you need to ground barefoot, be in the forest, do pranic exercises, stop thinking. All of that's releasing traumatic emotions from your lineage and all of these things, which, in my opinion, in Jordan Peterson's family is very obvious that they have lineage trauma, ancestral trauma, which they need to get released. And unless they do that, they're gonna have a hard time healing themselves. There's no clinic, no medical procedure, no pharmaca which is gonna help him heal. Less anxiety often translates from less stress. For example, participants of an 8-week mindfulness meditation study found that their anxiety had reduced as a result. Yeah, of course. So any kind of letting go is any kind of letting go releases the pressure in the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is one of the major distribution centers for prana. So you need a solid root chakra, and then that flows into your sacral chakra, and then you need to let go in the solar plexus. And then, of course, there's several levels of letting go, you could say. And then the ultimate letting go is being the personless self, basically, in the crown chakra. But that is not so important for healing anymore. You first need like the all the other ones. Because one of the most important healers for your energy system, for your subtle energy system, is the throat chakra. And Jordan Peterson speaks too much. He interrupts people. I remember, for example, when he had the interviews with Elon Musk, he would continuously interrupt him, and he would be kind of arrogant. Also, he would be like, "Oh, you should definitely go on a meat diet. Meat diet is so good," and he would keep repeating it. And I remember that I don't watch much Jordan Peterson, but that was enough, and it was very clear to me that Jordan Peterson is full of blockages. The problem is that society is structured in a way that we overvalue thinking, and so everybody gives Jordan Peterson so much attention. I mean, where he gets his credit mostly is also to his position against the left woke establishment, but that's why people push him also into kind of like the manosphere or right wing kind of like thing, because either you're with the wokes or you aren't, kind of like. And for him it wasn't that position, it was just that he refused to use that on a scientific basis. But fact I mean practically he gets pushed into that corner, but and then he profited of it, and he needed to profit of it because people need to survive and they need to provide for their families. So he was like, okay, if that already is a trend, I'm going to profit from it. And that kind of puts you into a you put chains on yourself, and you suddenly start to do something which is not healthy. and and then he's also vexed. I mean, so he is, I'm Jordan Peterson, in my opinion, should not be a role model for anyone, to be honest. Maybe the only role model is to not be afraid to stand for what you believe in. Everything else that Jordan Peterson says is bullshit. Everything. I mean, just because he has some recollection of some things he read on PubMed or something, uh, doesn't make him a good, competent life advisor or coach or whatever. And literally every thought is a blockage. Once you learn that, you can access your Akashic records, you can access your higher intuition, what I call the heart intuition. It's very subtle. As long as you cannot go into silence for longer periods of time, you are blocking your energies. And the only way to heal is going this energetic route. Everything else will be just masking the problem. Yeah, so I wanted to say that because I read an article how he is really suffering. And I don't have direct connection to him. I'm not a celebrity. I don't have PR agency, whatever. So because otherwise I would tell him what he needs to do. But I think there is no light at the end of the tunnel, unless he would somehow get to this information, because he completely needs to step out of what he has been doing for many years. Um yeah, yeah. And one of the signals for me was also always that I was never able to listen to him. I was able to to him for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes max. Once I sat through the, podcast with Elon Musk, but it's always like, Jesus, just shut the fuck up. It's like just way too much thinking. It's like it's bombarding. It's almost like an energy vampire. There are lots of meditation styles that can help to reduce stress. People with stress related medical conditions can also experience reduced symptoms with meditation. Yeah, but it's not just stress. It goes deeper than stress. It's really ancestral trauma. Ancestral trauma is it has as a symptom stress in the body, in the nervous system. But to release it, you need to do more than just meditation. Yeah. By the way, I haven't been a long time on this channel, so now I do a lot of like ecstatic dances in south of Portugal, traveling with my van in south of Portugal, meeting a lot of people. It's very interesting visiting eco communities, positive and negative experiences, both of them. Super, super interesting. And I took for the first time like shrooms, but it didn't have any effect on me whatsoever. I started with like a micro dose because I'm hypersensitive, so I wasn't sure what's gonna do to me. And then I took a normal dose like everyone else was taking, and on the same night, and it didn't do anything with me. So I will have to try some other time again. But I believe that because of the spiritual awakening, I will experience it just as like a little bit finer tuned presence. I don't think there's gonna be more than that. But different shrooms, different experience maybe. I'm curious. I'm not using it to heal anything because I already have modalities to heal a lot of shit. It's just a question of discipline sometimes. But I'm just in generally curious, like almost like it feels almost like a position of power that I'm in, and I'm just like minimal experimenting with it, being like, I wonder how this is like, because I'm already 47, I'm going to be 48, so I'm already coming to the last part of my life. I'm like, yeah, yeah, let's give it a small try, just see what happens. I don't expect much. But I would be ready to try more, but first I want to like ramp it very, very, very slowly just to see like what it does. Just out of curiosity, and my intuition will tell me whether it's beneficial or not beneficial. I will sense it. Like even before taking it, I will sense it. And this was super flat. Like the only thing I would maybe compare it to is a little bit like if you drank a little bit of wine, like a glass or two, and you feel like a little bit more unhinged in a positive way. That was the only effect I would say I had from it. But very minimal. I was in the meditation grove for around 5 years now, and every morning when I get out of bed, I do some breathing exercise on my yoga mat while watching the busy streets of Manchester. Yeah, I mean, a regular practice is good just in general. I call it taking out the garbage, but for me, taking out the garbage goes even deeper. That you have, certain massage techniques, tapping techniques, a lot of different modalities to release emotions that get stored in the body. But I would say, any kind of routine that is a good kind of like balance to regular normal life is a good thing. Now, personally, I couldn't live in the city anymore. This morning, I had to bring somebody back to the bus station, and it was the morning traffic into Lagos, Portugal, and it was super fucking annoying. Like everywhere, traffic and people and traffic and people. As a hypersensitive, I'm like, nah, I don't want that. Um, yeah, if you want to heal yourself, I mean, it's Jordan Peterson is really crazy in a way. You know that he's waxed, although so he cannot be that intelligent. I mean, think about it. Think about it. He's a clinical psychologist, and he got manipulated into taking the vaccine. The vax. It's not really a vaccine. Isn't that crazy if you think about it? Nah, 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 nah. I believe he's the most overrated college professor in the world. Um, and I think also, you know how he started to dress with the funny jackets? I think it was an interesting touch, but I think it's exactly because of that, because he's so boring and nobody's really interested in it. In a way, he needed to be a little bit more like flashy, because otherwise it's just fucking boring. I mean, Joe Rogan doesn't need to dress that way, you know. Um, Super interesting. Yeah. So if anybody is has health conditions, think about whether you have a job that thinks too much, and whether you should be, releasing a little bit more, doing things to release your emotions and trauma, and getting the prana to flow through all the energy channels. And that's it for tonight. I'm going to go to sleep now.